Hey guys, it's Maymay and we're back for part 2 of our album that doesn't stay closed, but don't worry, I have a trick for it. But this is our ATC album. These are our tension binding system here that's going to hold our ATC cards in, our pockets, even here. Now, if you would like to see how to get to this point of the album, part 1 was loaded on Tuesday. I'll be sure to put a link in the description and also in the blog post and also in the iCard right above here that you can click on. Today, we're going to finish by creating the closure, what's going to keep it closed. We're also going to be doing some of that repair coverage, that I told you would get some of these little tears sometimes. We're going to do that and a little bit of decorating, not a whole lot left to do. So let's get started. Okay. I'm doing something. I don't know if this is different or not. I did not do any research to see if anybody has done this before, so you might have seen it somewhere, and if you have, kudos. I just don't know who to give credit to if they did it, but here's what I'm going to do for my closure. I'm going to create a belly band, but I'm going to use chipboard for my belly band. This album is a pretty heavy, not heavy, but it's pretty side heavy, and I don't believe a magnet would hold it in the middle like I want it to, especially once I load my ATCs in. I'm afraid it'll fall open. So I'm going to create a belly band that I know will close it up nice and tight, and I'm using chipboard for stability. All right, so let's talk about what you need. You need 2 pieces. These 2 pieces here, I always like to put a ruler on it because I forget between cutting. These 2 pieces are 8 1/4 by 2. Okay, and this piece here is 2 3/4 by 2. Don't worry, all measurements for the whole thing will be on the blog for you guys. So we're going to start with this, and then we're going to need some paper because I'm going to cover this so you don't see the workings. We want to make it kind of pretty. Then you're going to need some cardstock. I'm going to use black to kind of match my album. That is 9 1/4 long by 3 and let me see, and 3 inches wide. So it's actually an inch larger. So I have 1/2 inch to turn around all the way around. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a little bit of art glitter glue and just kind of stick this into place. Nothing serious. I'm just going to get it where it'll be kind of stuck down here to make things a little easier. So stick that guy down there. Bring this guy over and stick him down. Now I've never done this before. We're going to figure this out. This is an album that I'm just kind of making and figuring out. And I tell you what I think I'll do is at the end of this video, because this is part 2 and also the final, at the end of this video, I think I'll do a little what would I do different section, because I had a couple things I think I'd do. I got one major thing I think I would do different with this album, and I want to tell y'all about that. So stick around to the end for that. And I'll tell you what I think I would have done different. Nothing super, super different, but different. Hey, this piece, by the way, is the little black piece is covering these up. 3 3/4 long, and this guy is 3 inches wide. Again, on the block, and I'm just sticking these guys down. My chipboard doesn't match. It's the same thickness, but I'm using from 2 different packs, just some of my scraps that I had laying around. So it's not exact. These guys don't match each other, but it won't matter. They're the same thickness. Okay, so there is that part. Now I'm going to take some sticky tape and I'm going to run it around the edges. I think I'm just going to do it, I'm going to do it like I've been doing it. The edge of the black cardstock, like so. And I'm not going to worry if I get all the way to the edge there because I'm going to miter these corners. So as long as I have it up here along the longest distance, that's where I need it. So I'm going to do this on all 4 of these pieces. So now that I've got my tape everywhere, I'm going to come around and miter these corners going about 1/8 of an inch away from the point of that chipboard. So you see I'm kind of adding, I'll put my hand behind there, and kind of adding 1/8 of an inch. That's what's going to give me a nice turn. And I just eyeball that. Doesn't have to be exactly 1/8. You don't want more than that. You don't want like 1/4 of an inch or anything, but just a good little distance away from that edge so that it doesn't leave exposed chipboard. But remember, if you leave anything exposed anywhere, you're a paper crafter. You have lots of things you can stick in lots of places to cover any errors up. Do not panic. You have not wasted anything if you get too close of a cut. Don't panic. We don't panic in here. We just add glue. Add bling, add glue, add paper. Okay, so get those out of our way. And now we're going to turn all of these over. Here's what I like to do with these smaller pieces. I like to just kind of work them around like that. Just let my work surface help me bend them. And it works really good on these smaller pieces. It doesn't work as good on that big piece like we did the big binder. That's why I score around those pieces. But for these, they're so small, it really does work. All right, I'm going to lift up my little adhesive backer pieces. I want to show you something too. You know, a lot of times we think that burnishing is kind of a waste of time. Some people think you don't really need to burnish it if you just put your finger on it. Let me show you something. So when I put this adhesive tape down, I didn't really go back and burnish it down. So if I bring it up really close to the camera, you'll be able to see that, see where it's lighter? It's not stuck down to the cardstock, but you see where it's darker? It is. So when we turn this sticky tape over, like so, we want to be sure to burnish it so that the tape is holding both sides, the cardstock and the chipboard. What I like to do for that is just take my bone folder and rub it down, and then I know that all those little spaces that weren't stuck down are now stuck down with the adhesive. Just kind of keeps the air out of it. Sometimes I get lucky and my miter looks great. That looks pretty good. Sometimes I do it too short. It happens. All right, there's that one. Let's do a short one together, and then I'll do the other two off camera. So reveal this, and you can see, you might not can see in camera where you're at, but I can see that all of that is not stuck down. And I'll show you what I mean by the difference real quick. So if I were to burnish this one, like so, and then peel the backer off, let me show you the difference. See how this one's got those little white spots and it's pretty not attached? And see how much darker this one is? I don't know if light, there it goes. See how much darker that one is right there? And that's just because I burnished it down better. Just be sure to do that step. All right, and we're gonna turn, 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 and turn. Then I'm gonna tuck this around. I'll come back and burnish all at one time. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna do the other two real quick. Now we got to attach these guys together. I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna do it. I've taken some black cardstock and I've cut them down 1 inch wide by 2 inches tall. 2 inches because that's how tall this is, right? We're gonna make some little binder strips. So what I'm gonna do is score these at 1/2 inch. So I'm basically just scoring them in the middle, just like so. And I only need 4 of them to attach everything together. I'll go ahead and do this through all of them. As a matter of fact, you could just cut a strip that is 1 inch by 8 inches. That way you get 2, 4, 6, 8, and then score it one time down the middle and then cut these guys apart, or do it this way. I only needed 4, so it wasn't that big of a deal to score them. No big deal. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna add adhesive to these guys first, and I'm gonna flip them over and put my adhesive on this side. You can be picky about how you do that. That's up to you. All right, here's my adhesive. And I'm going to stick this down like this on either side of the score mark on every one of them. So there's 1, then 2, and this is going to be what's going to hold our belly band together. It's like whenever, sometimes we've done this with mini albums when we're making pages or covers or things like that. It's the same as that. It's just a binding strip. You've probably made them with me before on other projects. Another tip I've seen for burnishing is this. When you're going to cut, take your 1 inch block or your block that you're using to cut it with and run it across like that with some pressure, and that will burnish at the same time. So that's kind of a little time-saving tip. It'll burnish at least one side down. You'll need to burnish again once you get it attached. Now that I've got the adhesive on these, I'm going to fold them in half, and then I'm going to do a little angle to take some of the bulk out. All right, so I'm just going to take my scissors, and from the open end to the fold, so open end to the fold, I'm just making these little points, just like so, so that I can take some of the bulk out when I attach this together. You've also seen us do this before. We always try to do this with our folds or our mini albums or boxes. We always try to take a little bit of the bulk out. So just a little angled snip, just like so. This also keeps your little binder strips, in case you didn't cut them exactly the right length, it keeps them from hanging out the edge as well. All right, I'm not going to put those on yet. I'm going to show you something else we're going to do. Now we're going to cover this completely so it's pretty all the way around, but on this side of the little pieces, I have cut some decorative paper I want to put on, and I just think it'll be easier if I put it on now than if I wait. So I did some wood grain from my same paper pack I'm using, the one that's called, is this Spring Market? Let me look. Yep, the Spring Market paper pack. This is the one that I chose. So I'm going to glue this down with art glitter glue while it's nice and flat. I think this will be easy. So these strips are 1/4 of an inch smaller than our belly band pieces. So this will have a little bit of a lip around, a little bit of an edge around it. So get that one laid down. I just thought the wood grain would be really pretty around the outside of the piece. Let's glue this one down. So that should save us a little bit of time here, because I won't at least save us some effort, because we won't be trying to adhere these to a piece that's standing up. All right, now we're going to turn these guys over, okay? And now that I'm doing this, I think I have made one too many strips. We'll see. I think I did. We might have only need 3. Y'all know me in math. In my head, I thought 4, but I probably need 3. We'll see. All right, what I want to do is I want to start by attaching one of these pieces to one end of the belly band piece, and I'm just going to put it right to the edge of it, just like that, okay? And then I'm going to peel the backer off of this, and this time, since I used a long piece, I'm going to take a short piece. I'm going to match these up like this. I'm going to lay them next to each other, and then I'm going to wrap this guy over. And by doing that, look what I get. I get this wrap around, and it's nice and it's loose, and I can get a good turn, okay? Let's do it again right here. So I'm going to take this guy around, and I'm going to adhere this to the very edge, just like so. Then peel the little backer piece off of this. Now I need the long piece, because this is going to be covering the front and the back. So the long piece is next. Adhere it down. And now you see I get a good easy bend there. And then we need one more. No, we do need 4 strips. I was thinking in my head we did. Ooh, me and math, y'all, me and math. All right. So I'm going to stick this one down here like so. Then I'm going to keep going. I'm going to lay this one out here. Same thing. I'm going to release this little backer. And then we're just going to pick it up just like this. So now I'm going to add this little guy to the end, right down here. And now it's going to make sense. We're going to have an actual belly band in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and reveal this backer piece, okay? And this time I'm going to lay this piece out like this. Let's see. Lay it like this. That's what we'll do. We'll just fold it back on itself. Then I'm just going to bring this piece over to it and seal it down that way, so I don't really have to get inside of there. And this becomes our belly band. So there's your finished product right there. And make sure you burnish. I need to go back and burnish those, but I want to show you this. On the inside, although that's not pretty and we don't want to put that on our album, because when we will be sliding this off the album. What I want to do is I want to take some cardstock that I cut to fit right inside, and these pieces are basically the same measurement as your chipboard. I just cut them the tiniest sliver shorter, not even a full 1/16 of an inch shorter, just so I could just slide them in here like this and adhere them down, just to make things easy. And it'll just clean this up. Look nice and clean on the inside. So see how much better that's going to look, just to be kind of closed up. So there's our belly band. Let's try it on our album. So bringing my album over, I'm going to close it up like this, and I'm going to have to kind of help it because I only got one hand in here today, just me. So I'll hold that side with one hand. I'm going to put this on here like so, and then I'm going to work it over here. I made my belly band a little bit large on purpose. I did not want to have to fight with it. Okay, I wanted it just to go on pretty easy and hold it there. And it doesn't have to hold it all together closed. I just wanted something to hold my little ATC holder together. And I like how the belly band does, because it'll hold it shut. I don't have to worry about this flying open, but it's also super easy to get on and off. Now, one thing to think about is with mine, because I did that paper, how I did this paper like this, it's a little harder to slip down over that. It kind of gets caught. Not too bad, just a little bit. You have to kind of move it a little bit. But so if you don't want to do the two-tone paper, that's something to think about. But I really like how this looks. Now I have 2 more pieces, or I want to do the little corners here I told you about. And I think I'm going to do it here as well. I'm going to try something to kind of hide that. Although that doesn't bother me at all because it looks nice and clean. I'm really liking how this album is looking. It's going to hold a lot of cards. Okay, so let's do these pieces. So my plan is I'm going to take my 2-inch scallop punch, and I'm going to punch out 4 scallop circles out of this plaid. I think this plaid is really pretty, and I think my album needs a little green. So I'll punch 4 of these out. Then I'm going to fold this guy in half, letting the scallops themselves show me where to fold it. So I'm just going to find a fold and line my scallops up on either side. You could score this, but I don't really think you need to, as far as, you know, with your scoring board. But I am going to crease it down good. And then I'm going to go ahead and do all of them the same way, all 4 of these guys. Fold it and crease it. Fold it and crease it. Now this would be so pretty if you did this with like a glitter paper, if you wanted it to look kind of metally. What we're doing is we're going to create little corner protectors on our books, or on our ATC album. Okay, so now I'm going to cut these in half. I'm just going to use my scissors to go along that score line that I did. Cut that in half. Now I'm going to fold these in half again, and this time I'm going to match up this top scallop, and then that bottom scallop is going to get folded in the middle there. Crease that one down. So I'm creating these corner pieces that'll be like this on the book. I think that'll be really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and fold all these guys in half. You've seen these before. I was inspired by the kind of metal pieces that you sometimes find on an album that protect covers from wear and tear over time. I just thought this would give kind of the look of that and cover up those areas and add a little stability where I was struggling with my folding earlier. So I got all my little corner pieces made, and what I'm going to do with my book in the belly band, like it's going to live most of the time, I'm going to just lay these in the corner like this and adhere them down sort of loosely, so that whenever the album opens, they have room to fold back and forth. So I'm not going to lay the album flat and put these down, but I think that'll be cute on the corners and give it a little bit of protection up there. So I'm going to add some glue to both sides. Then I'm just going to put it in place. Let the bend of the little scallop be the center, or be right over the binder. The little fold of the book is what I'm trying to say, the little crease there. So there's one corner. Isn't that cute? It's not only cute, it's functional. Then I'm going to do it here at the bottom too, or also. And then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the other sides as well. So here you can see we have our corner protectors, and look how cute they are. They look like, you know, you get the point of what they are, those little corner protectors. And I like that much better because now our edges are nice and protected. I thought about putting some here, but I don't think it needs it. I was going to cut another whole circle and put it across here, just lay it across, but I don't really think it needs it. It does need something here. We're going to get to that. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is decorate this little section right here. And I found this little sticker in the sticker pack that says Happy Little Moments. And what is an ATC but a happy little moment, right? So I'm going to use that. And I think I'm going to take some of the flowers and kind of put them in the background around it. So I'm just taking some of these off that I might want to use and kind of putting them to the side so I can decide as I go here. All right, so I like those. And let's see how much space this takes up. So like if I wanted to put a little flower behind it there, and then I might want to put this little bit, I might put this on top, kind of adding to those little bouquets, to that little bouquet that's already there, like that. And then this guy, which was the larger one, I think would be pretty here somewhere too. But I want to get it to stay, I want it all to stick onto my actual belly band so nothing is sticking off the edge. And I'm not going to put it on dimensional foam because I don't want any more added dimension here on this belly band because I don't want anything to fall off. So look, Happy Little Moments. It's really cute. I still think those little pieces on the side might be cute. Let me cut one and show you what I mean. So using my 2-inch scallop cut, just like I did before, and folding it in half, I just think this would be so cute right there. Yep, I think I'm gonna have to add that. I think it's cute and I want those edges to have something. So let me glue this one down and then I'll punch all the other ones out. And I'm gonna take it and kind of press this together. And I think by doing that, it's also going to help my book stay closer together. I really like bringing that green to the side. It really looks good. So there you go. I really like that. I love how that really pulled everything back together. And it even kind of tightened me up a little bit on the belly band, which I really like as well. So when you're lifting up, do you see how that's getting a little hung? If you'll just kind of press down a little bit and give that a little bit of space, it'll help you to get that off of there, just to kind of stretch that out like that. So that is your little album, and it will hold all your ATCs. I'm going to load this up with ATC so we can see what it looks like. So here we go, guys. Are you ready for this? I have 51 ATC cards in this album. Do you see my album? 51. It holds so many cards. When you open it up, look how they do over here. They go like this, and you can actually flip through them because we did not seal that binding down. If you seal it down, it will not flip. You have to trust me on that. I have 3 in the pockets along the side. I have 6 in the middle pockets, which I really could just adhere this side down and this side down and get another one in the middle if I wanted to. But 51 is pretty good, I think. And then all of these guys can be flipped through as well. 51 ATCs right here. That's amazing. Then, of course, you close it up and apply your belly button, your belly band, just like so. And look how gorgeous this is. I love it. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see it. I know sideways is not the way to go, but you can see the whole album that way. I just love it. I know you could do a lot more embellishments to it. The one thing I really do like about it is if you were to put this into your bookshelf, the side would be really easy to like label. Maybe these are your ATCs from Made It Con or from the March ATC swap. You could put a label here and pull these out of your bookshelf. And if you're able to store 51 at a time, that's really good. All right, let's talk about the things I would do different on this album. Now, a lot of you guys are probably going to comment, and I understand, especially if you're new to my channel, you really should have figured all these things out before you brought us the tutorial. But if you're not from around here, if you don't watch my channel much, you'll know a lot of times I'll just make a project and film it for you guys, and I like to kind of leave my mistakes in here and there. Not that these are mistakes. I'm perfectly happy with this album, but here's the tweaks that I would make. Number 1, the cover, the black covering for the chipboard here, I think I would cover it like I covered the belly band. So instead of laying this out flat and covering it with that one piece of black cardstock and getting those rips in the side, the little tension rips, I think I would do it like I did the belly band. I would cover each piece individually and then attach them with binding strips around the side. I think I'd like that a lot better. So I think I'd do that next time. The other thing I think I would do is I would only attach, and you can see I actually did it here, I would only attach the tension binder to the sides of the album and not try to worry about attaching one of these, because notice how they don't stay anyway. The tension makes it kind of come away. So I would only attach them to the sides here and let everything be free here. You just don't need that piece of adhesive that I thought you needed. And the other thing, which I think is the key, the belly band, I love it, but you notice that it's catching a little bit on my papers and things on the album. Next time, instead of covering my pieces here with the cardstock and tucking that around the back side, I think I would just bring that around the front side and let this decorative piece cover up the raw chipboard instead of adding that piece of black cardstock inside, which gives me more lips to catch on things. So you see, like if this is going to catch, which now that I want it to, it's not going to, right? But if it were going to catch, if I didn't have that little piece of paper edge there, it wouldn't do that. Let me say this, if you would like to see me make another one of these albums, doing all the changes that I think I would make, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to do that and film the process. I would probably do it a little faster just because I wouldn't have to show you the binding in that one. I would just need to show you the building of the album itself. So if you'd like to see me do it with all the changes I think I would make, let me know. I'll put it in the comments below. But there you go. I love how this turned out. So now I have an album for 51 ATCs. If you would like to be part of our ATC swap, I'll leave the information for that in the blog post, in the description, and also in the iCard here for you. Thanks so much for watching. And if you are making one of these guys, I want to see it. I want to see what you do with your album to make it different from mine and maybe be inspired by mine. You can share it with me over on my website called maymaymadeit.com in our customer gallery. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.